to my channel. My name is Hannah and I love to talk about books. And today we've got a really fun video planned. I've been seeing everyone going through, like mainly on BookTok, going through all of their books that they want to read before the end of the year. And usually they do this 10 before the end. I love that idea, but I wanted to do 25 books that I really want to read but probably won't be able to read before the end of 2025, because we are already in November, which is absolutely insane. I'm already in the Christmas spirit, as you can see. I can't wait for Christmas to get here. If it could hurry up, that'd be nice. But I thought we would go through the 25 books that I want to read before the end of 2025. Hopefully, if not, early into 2026. So these are just the books that I am desperate to get to. Let's get straight into the video. I'm going to go through my physical books that I want. I do also have all of these books. Well, not all of them. Most of these have been read, but quite a lot of these haven't been read, but they're books that I am less reaching for, or obviously have already been read. But I have my stack of books next to me here. I've got my physical ones that I really want to be reaching for, and then I've got a list of books that I haven't got physically, or either I'm gonna Kindle read or probably buy the physical book at a later date. So let's start. First book that I really want to read, and I was really hoping that I was gonna get to in October this year, and I didn't. Clearly it's now November and I still haven't read it, is Corrupt and the entirety of the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. Okay, so I feel like everyone kind of knows what Devil's Night series is about, but if not, I'm going to attempt to read the blurb for you guys. Erica Fane knows her boyfriend's older brother is handsome, strong and completely terrifying. A college basketball star gone pro, he's more concerned with the dirt on his shoe than he is with her, but she saw him. She heard him. The things that he did and the deeds that he hid. For years, Rika bit her nails, unable to look away. Now she's in college, but she hasn't stopped watching him. Now he's bad, and the things he's done aren't content to stay in her head anymore, because he's finally noticed her. Michael Chris knows the hold he has on Rika, how much she fears him. She looks down when he enters the room and stills when he's close. He knows she thinks only of him. When Michael's brother joins the military, leaving Rika alone and unprotected, Michael knows the opportunity is too good to be true. 3 years ago, she put Michael's friends in prison, and now they're free. Every last one of her nightmares is about to come true. So the entirety of the Devil's Night series is a massive thing on BookTok, and I have read a couple of Penelope Douglas books. I read Punk 57, which actually intertwines with one of the characters' cousins in this series, and I've also read Bully, which I absolutely adored. I love Tatum. Everyone knows this. But I'm really excited to read this series, because I think it's going to be one of those series that I carry with me for a long time, and I think I'm going to fall entirely in love with these characters. So I'm really excited for this. The next book is really exciting because it's Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I have read Spark of the Everflame and absolutely devoured that book. It is now my Roman Empire, and I cannot wait to finish the series. This is highly important for me. I only got the physical book last month when it was my birthday, and I went out book shopping for my birthday and I bought this book. I am in need of reading this, because the way that those two characters absolutely consumed me, and the story and the storytelling, was insane. That's all I can think about. And I just honestly am in love with this series already, and I've only read the first book, but I think it's going to be one of my favourite romantasy series ever. The Kindra's Curse saga follows Deem. I don't know how to say her name, but it processes right. it doesn't come out correctly. And Luther, I love them. And basically there's like this hierarchy of, it's like how to explain it, it's like you have the people with powers and then you've got people that don't, and it's like the people that don't are very poor, and it's all to do with the curse basically. But honestly, the way that the magic system and like all of it works is mind-boggling, and it's one of the best I've read. So I'd actually really recommend reading this series, and I'm really looking forward to reading Glow of the Everflame. The next book is another one that I've been aching to pick up, that I've had on my shelf for a while, is The Book of Azriel. This is by Anne Review Nicole, and this is supposed to be really good. Now, I'm gonna read the blurb because all I know is it's about like gods and monsters, because I'm pretty sure that's what the series is called. Oh yeah, Gods and Monsters, book 1. Many centuries ago, desperate to save her dying sister, Diana made a deal with Caden, a monster far worse than any nightmare. Locked in servitude to him, she is forced to hunt down an ancient relic held by her most dangerous enemies, an army led by Smeagol, the World Ender. After the Gods' War, Smeagol hid from everything, denying his crown and deserting his people. Now an attack on those he loves sends him back to the realm he never wished to return to, and into the sights of an enemy he had hoped to forget. With every world at stake, Diana and Smeagol are forced to set aside their animosity and work together before all is lost. It sounds so good, and the amount of people raving about this series makes me just want to like drop everything that I'm reading at the minute and just pick it up, which I shouldn't do because I'm actually finishing my 4th wing vlog. I know, it's been a year in the making. Please stop. Before you say anything, I don't need anyone to say anything. I already feel bad enough as it is. Don't. But I'm on Iron Flame at the minute. The next book I'm really looking forward to reading is a book that I actually got gifted yesterday by Chelsea, my friend from Book Talk. We did a book swap, which was really fun, and it's nice to just show our love and appreciation for one another and give books that we both really want to read and stuff. So this is The Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I'm really excited to read this. This is one of these romanticides that I've seen everywhere constantly. It's like, if you want to read more like different romanticides instead of the ones that are really popular, this is one you should pick up. So I'm really excited to read this. I'm not going to read the full blurb, I'm going to read the little bit at the top. So it says, human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always guard your heart. I heard vampire. I'm in. Absolutely in. And, you got serpents and then wings. Anything to do with anything like that, I'm absolutely in. The next one that is definitely going to be read before the end of 2025 is Onyx Storm, okay? Look, I'm finishing the vlog. I've told you this already. I'm finishing it. I'm on Iron Flame. It's gonna go well. It's gonna go absolutely fine. I'm really scared for this book. If Iron Flame's already killing me, what is going to happen in this book? I've not even got to the end of Iron Flame. Our female main character, Violet, is the main character we follow, and then her love interest, Xaden, who is everyone's favourite book boyfriend. They are like dragon riders, and they go through their war college, which I can never pronounce the name of, and they go through all this stuff and the stuff that's happened in the past to do with all these wars and rebellions and uprisings, and they're kind of figuring out why certain things are happening outside of certain wards, and basically wars and stuff, and it's absolutely great. The dragons have so much personality. Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. So I'm really scared for this, but this will be read before the end of 2025, I promise. The next book I really want to read is Shield of Sparrows by Devoney Perry. This was the other book that Chelsea gifted to me from our book swap, and I was over the moon about this because I have actually seen mixed reviews on this book. So I can't say that I've seen like brilliant reviews across the board, but I've seen a mixture of reviews, and I kind of really want to read it myself because it sounds interesting. It says, a treaty sword of magic, a fate born of monsters, a love foretold by legend. Anything that's to do with monsters that is fantasy and involves romance, I am in. That is basically, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, I absolutely devour romantasy. I mean, obviously there's romantasies that I'm not, you know, massively keen on, like the Powerless trilogy. Well, to be fair, I've only read the first one and I wasn't absolutely hooked with Powerless, but I still think I rated it like 4 stars because I really enjoyed the characters, but the story in itself felt a little bit repetitive, and that's not a completely bad thing. I was just expecting something very different, but everyone loves that series, and I do think her writing is very good. I think it's a very entry level romantasy book, which there's nothing wrong with that. I genuinely did thoroughly enjoy the book, but it wasn't my favorite romantasy ever. The part that I really enjoyed about the book was the characters, and I really do like to enjoy the world a bit more than just the characters, but there's nothing wrong with a character driven story. It's just genuinely everyone has different opinions and different tastes. So if you love the Powerless trilogy, I think it's trilogy now, or series, I think it's more than a trilogy, but I think the main 3 books are a trilogy. Anyways, if you liked the Powerless series and I got a different opinion to you, who cares? You like reading that and I don't. No one should tell you what you should or should not read, and I stand by that. The next book I'm really intrigued to read, that actually only came out like a month ago. I went and bought it on maybe the day after release day, and this is Senlin Yu's Alchemized. Now this is a book I'm really excited to read, because I've seen a lot of different reviews. I've seen some people saying that they found it very it's 1,000 pages long. People found it too lengthy, which you're reading 1,000 pages. I'm very much understanding of kind of feeling that the story is probably dragging a little bit. But I also know a lot of my favourite creators absolutely adored this book, so I'm so looking forward to reading it, because obviously the creators that I follow are the people that I have a very similar reading taste to. I mean, obviously I follow people that I've got very different reading taste to, but the people that I've got very similar reading taste to absolutely love this book, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'll read the bit on the back because quite a lot of the blurbs are really long. I don't want to bore everyone with reading blurb after blurb, but it says on the back, what is it you think you're protecting in that brain of yours? The war is over, hold fast is dead, the eternal flame is extinguished, there is no one left for you to save. Apparently, so I'd like to preface that this has really dark themes. It is very much a dark fantasy. It has a very minor subplot of romance, but it is not a romance novel. This is what I've been told. And all the reviews say it is very much dark. So please go and checking the trigger warnings and making sure that you're also able to read content like this that is very heavy and very dark. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'm looking forward to getting my heart torn out and destroyed. My favourite thing about reading is when I cry. That sounds really harsh, but when I cry, I know that I'm enjoying a book because it's bringing all of these emotions out. And I find that the best books and the books that I enjoy the most are the ones that get that reaction from me and that make me feel something. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this. The next book I'm really looking forward to is Callie Hart's Quicksilver. Because no, I have not read this yet. And I actually feel really criminal that I haven't, because a lot of people have raved about this book, and the next book's coming out this month, and that one's called Brimstone, I think. The back of this book says, "Be careful of the deals you make, dear child. The devil is in the details." But what is really drawing me in is the fan art, like the end pages, the art that's in the book, which I think is gorgeous. And then I think on the back we have our main male character, and I just think that's absolutely amazing. I think it's gorgeous. And then I got the edition that's got and this is the new reworked cover. Some people really liked the original cover better. I really liked the original cover because it had like art on the outside, but I also really, really love this cover because I think it's quite simple, and you know, it's got all this shiny reflective like foiling, and I just think it's beautiful. But I'm really, really excited to read this. This is like one that I'm kind of tempted to pick up after I finish my Empyrean series read, because I've been like yearning. I am a yearning man. I am a yearning fictional man for this book. That is what I am. I'm yearning to read this. The next book see, this was one that I didn't even realize was on my radar. And I saw it in the shop, and I've seen it in the shops a couple of times. And then I was seeing it a little bit scattered around BookTok. And you know, I was like, if something is kind of scattered around, I know that it's kind of, you know, it's gonna get the hype it deserves. But this is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. Now, Rebecca Ross is someone that I keep hearing of, and I've never read any of her books before. Like a lot of these authors, you know, some of them are first time authors, and I'm really, really excited to find a lot more romantasy authors that I'm like, you know, anticipating new releases from, because that's always so fun. So the back of this says, "She was a mortal, she was destined to come and go, the cycle of seasons, and what was I, a humble mortal cursed to age and die. I was rooted to the ground, destined to return to the earth as dust. I could not hold her any more than I could the wind, but I loved her for it." Now this is the art. I am obsessed. And I think it's the exact same on the other side. But it is absolutely gorgeous. And I also got a copy that was signed by the author, which is really exciting. I was like, I saw it in the shop and I was like obsessed. And this is also what the front, and it says, "We were doomed, she and I. One day I would perish and she would live on, endless as the stars." This book is going to destroy me. This book is going to destroy me. I actually just realized that it said inside that it was in the world of the international sensation Divine Rivals, which I've now just realized is on my shelf here. I haven't read it. Maybe this is one that I need to read before. This makes me go, huh? Now maybe I need to read this first. So this could also be one that I need to read before the end of 2025. That's definitely not going to happen, but maybe the early 2026. That is a good thought. I'm really intrigued now to know about this entire world. So I need to do some investigating in reading order and what to do with that. The next book is Wings of Starlight. Now, I bought this probably a year ago when it first came out. I actually pre-ordered it, so it came to me on release day. I still haven't read it. Honestly, I think I've been putting it off because I don't want to read it and then be done reading it. Because this was like a childhood wish for me, was seeing these two together. And now we have it. Now this is by Alison Saft. So basically it's about Queen Clarion, and then Milori. I think his name's Lord Milori. Now I can't even remember. Oh yeah, it is Lord. I'm so good. But this was from obviously Tinkerbell, and this was something that I watched, and when you watched The Secret of the Wing, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm yearning to see what happens to these characters, and then you kind of get a little bit, but you don't see them properly together, and it was honestly agonizing. I loved them. So I'm really excited to read this. This is a must for hopefully, maybe I'll read this in December, because this is very Christmassy, based on like the Tinkerbell film, no, that's the book, Secret of the Wing. The next book I want to read before the end of 2025 is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Now this is the first book in the Rose Hill series, which I have the entirety of. It's an addiction, and I'm really sorry. It's a book buying addiction, and I need to put myself on a book buying ban before I run out of money. Anyways, I really want to read this because I'm obsessed with cowboys. Is there anything else to say? And these are all dads. I'm pretty sure this is the series where they're all hot dads. And do you know what? There's nothing better than a hot dad. I don't know. This needs to be done, but this is feeling like it might end up be an early 2026 read, because it's one that I put off, and like I'm so excited to read it, but I'm not, you know, I'm grasping for it more than some of these on here, but I'm not, you know, aching to read it like I am some of my romantasy reads. So that will probably be a 2026 read, but before the end of 2025. On the theme of cowboys, I put these as two separate books, but they're in the same series, and this is both Seeing Red and Change of Heart. I read the first one, which is called Alive and Wells. These are by Bailey Hannah, and the first one absolutely captivated me. I think I read it in like a day. It was amazing. I just loved the way the story was told. I felt for our main female character. I was so connected to her, and I really wanted to know what was going on. I loved the main male character. He was perfect, and I love cowboys, and that is why I want to read them. So I reckon these will probably be read either alongside, like not actually alongside, but like these will be read like either before I read the Rose Hill series or after. But yeah, these cowboy season never has to end. Just because summer is over and it's winter does not mean cowboy season needs to end. That's all I'm saying. The next one I really want to read is Say You Swear. That's because I have had this book for probably 2-3 years now. Maybe two, let's say 2 years, because 2 years. And I've been wanting to read it desperately, but apparently it's actually really sad, and I didn't realize that, and I kind of then put it off. As much as I love a sad book, I was like, it's sad. But this again will be one that I probably read along the same time as I read all my cowboy romances, only because I like to kind of chunk together the books that I read. So if I'm in one mood, I want to keep all my contemporary romances within the same maybe month or, you know, era, whereas like I can't flip between, oh, I've just read a romantasy and now I'm reading a contemporary romance, because it's almost like a different mindset, and I feel completely different when I read one to the other. So that's why I'll be doing that. The next book I want to read is Bride by Ali Hazelwood, because Mate has just come out, I believe. I've been seeing people both reading Mate proofs and art copies, but I'm pretty sure it's now out. So I really want to read this so I can get the next one. And this is because I have almost finished all of Ali Hazelwood's catalogue. I have almost finished all of her books, and I really want to get that complete, because it just feels nice to be up to date with an author and then like be really excited for a new release, instead of being like, oh, but I've still got to read like a couple more of your other books. And it's like, I'm just so excited to be up to date and then like wait and anticipate for the next Ali Hazelwood book. She is one of my auto-buy authors. I have said this before. She is like, just to me, is such a cozy, comfy reader, and I'm also so excited to read something that's a little bit different to her normal stuff, and this is a paranormal romance, and that's really exciting for me because I'm used to a lot of her contemporary romances. Obviously that's predominantly what she's written before, but I'm so looking forward to something a little bit different. So yeah, that's definitely on the list, and that will probably be read with maybe some of my fantasy reads because it's quite paranormal romancy. So yeah, next book that I want to read is one that's gonna absolutely break my heart, and aren't we all looking forward to that? Not me. Anyways, I want to read If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan, and all I know is it's about Autumn and Finney, and everyone is obsessed with it. A lot of my friends have read it and they said it was a great book and that it ripped their hearts out, and do you know what? I can't wait for that. That is actually something I really want. It's just for a book to rip my heart out and feel nothing but pain. That sounds slightly psychopathic, but that's a lot of the books I read, is just ones that rip my heart out, make me cry and make me sob. So this, yes, absolutely do I want to read this. But yeah, this is about, you know, Autumn and Finney, and then their, you know, kind of tragic love story. I'm really excited for that. So my last physical book that I want to read, hopefully before the end of 2025, and this is one that I really would like to read before the end of 2025, is V.E. Schwab's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Now this comes with the tagline, toxic lesbian vampires, and do you know what? That's all I need to be won over by a book. Toxic lesbian vampires sounds brilliant, and that's exactly what I want to read. The back of this says, 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild. All of them grow teeth. This just sounds so good. I have a feeling it's very historical, and I don't read a lot of historical romance. I think the one that I've read that was quite historical was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and that was like, had this like historical vibe. Other than that, I don't really read historical romances. I'm really looking forward to this. V.E. Schwab is one of my, like, you know, I've only read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I adored when she wrote that, and that writing, it was just insane and I loved it. So I'm so looking forward to delving back into the world of V.E. Schwab and seeing what her writings kind of evolved to between The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and then this book. So yeah, that's really exciting, and I'm looking forward to reading that. Now I've written down the ones that I don't have with me physically, or that I will probably maybe be reading on Kindle, but also probably might get paperback copies, or, you know, hardcovers, as I do love a hardcover. The first one that I really want to read is the Hollow Boys series. Now, I do absolutely adore dark romance. It's one of those things that I just find a lot of almost comfort in because of the way, I mean, definitely well written dark romances, but the way that the trials and tribulations that a lot of dark romance characters go through is just it. You kind of go through it with them and you get that whole journey, and it's very, you know, it heals a lot of things within yourself when you read stuff like this, and then you find that there is a way, even though you've gone through something really traumatic and really hard to go through, that there is, you know, light on the other side. And I think just dark romances do that really well. But yeah, the Hollow Boy series by Monty J is one that I've been absolutely agonizingly like I want to pick up, but I know that I need to get through other stuff first. And my friend Izzy went and read all of the books, and she honestly, the tears and the heartbreak and the happiness that she went through when reading that series is something that I absolutely really want to go through too. So I'm really looking forward to that. The next book is Leave Me Behind by K.M. Morona. That is a book that I've kind of just seen like sprinkled around, and I don't really know what it's about. I think it's about people in the army, and I have a feeling one of them's called Bunny and Bones. But I think they're like call signs, and yeah, I just know it's kind of about military stuff, but that looks amazing and the art is insane. Heavenly Bodies is also another one that I really want to read. That's a romantasy. These ones are going to be a lot quicker me going through than the physical copies, because obviously I unfortunately don't have them, so I cannot really explain what they're about because they're books I don't really know a lot about other than the genre. Diabound I really want to read after seeing Emmy and Laura reading it, and then I've seen a lot of people like since then read Diabound, and I've heard that it's quite good. I've heard that it's very it's not similar to Fourth Wing, but it has like, you know, Fourth Wing kind of vibes, so that's kind of intriguing. I really want to read One Dark Window, which I'm pretty sure is by Rachel Gillig, and I really want to read all of Rachel Gillig's stuff. Also The Crimson Moth I really want to read. Metal Slinger by, I think, also again Rachel Gillig. I could be completely wrong about that one, but I'm pretty sure it is. Really want to read Metal Slinger, and it just sounds like such a good romantasy book. I just am in such a romantasy era, and they're the books that make me really happy. Which, you know, as we're reading, we all want to feel happy, even though we go through heartbreak when reading, but we all, like in theory, want to find our 5-star reads and feel happy when we're reading. So romantasy's doing that for me, so this is why I'm always aching to pick it up. The last book that I really want to read in 2025, hopefully, is the Lady of Darkness series, and that is one that I've been seeing people read. I think Emmy's been reading it or has read it, and it's one of her favourite series, but I really want to read it, and it's one that I'm kind of like, it's one that I'm like toying with. I'm like, do I read it now? No, Hannah, because you have to finish your Fourth Wing reading vlog. So yeah, but you know, it's one that I do really want to read, so I'm looking forward to doing that. That is the end of the 25 books that I want to read before the end of 2025. I've really enjoyed making this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you like and subscribe if you want to see more bookish content. And you know, in the comments, tell me the books that you've enjoyed in the year of 2025, because I want to find some new recommendations, and I'd love to hear from you guys. If you just want to say hi guys. But thank you so much for watching. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you next video.